Okay. Let me hold on. Let me make sure I got this. Let me do this. Let me do that. That nigga died. Yeah. All right. So how I'm gonna try to start this bad boy off, right? Is this is pretty much, or at least this plans to be the finale per se until season 4 fully comes out. I haven't made no videos recently in a good like couple of days, so I'm gonna try to throw a couple out there just to make up for it. But first things first, if I put my Discord down the link, who would go to it? And plus, that's actually it for the time being. But let's go ahead and actually get started into the video. So how we're gonna do this is they're gonna do the dorms like they did in canon, part 7 of what if Deku had a darkness quirk. So they're gonna go to the dorms. I mean, they're gonna still have the competition. Not really changing too much there, but they're gonna be a little more serious and not too as playful since Deku died on the last What If. So everyone's gonna be training a lot harder. Everyone's gonna be more motivated to make their new moves. And Bakugo, instead of training by himself, and since he already has his AP shot, thank one of my family members for that, because I forgot what it was called, and he was like, "Hey, bro, it's the AP shot, or AP or some. I'm pretty sure it's the AP shot or AP piercing or something to that effect." And I was like, "I appreciate this," but so he does that move. But I'll just say, since he has all for one now, I'm gonna say he'll use that boosted up energy to make what I'll call this, a like Rasengan type bomb S. He also has, hear me out now, dark explosions. No. Before everyone starts tripping out, be like, how does he has this? Spoilers for non-manga readers. In the mangas or whatever, right? The One for All user is able to gain abilities from previous users, right? But it only happened for Deku as he used the One for All for a while, right? But since he was so overpowered and he had One for All, he didn't activate it just yet because he didn't really use it that much. But since day one, since Bakugo's gotten One for All, he's been using it religiously, and All Might's been training him, so he's able to create minuscule, very small doses of darkness, and he's able to like pretty much make a ball of darkness and throw it at their opponent. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" And then it blows up, and everyone just kind of brushes it off, kind of like, I mean, he was friends with Deku. Maybe it just rubs off on him, or they're like, who knows? Maybe quirks can be transferred or something if someone dies, or just it was always some way Bakugo was always able to brush it off because he's Bakugo, and he's just like, shut up, losers, or something to that effect. So that's how we're gonna do that, right? So he has the Dark Rasengan. I mean, he has the Bomb Rasengan, which is really just him compacting a whole bunch of explosion, hits his opponent, and then they get blasted out. And then we also have the Dark Ball, throws, boom. And then we have the Dark Ball Rasengan. So he has some new moves. When the boulder goes to hit All Might, instead of Deku coming in clutch and saving it, Bakugo just uses All for One and just, you know. Plus, this version of Bakugo, he's now more calm and more nice to people. He's not like a nice guy, but he's a lot more nicer than what he was in canon around this time, because Deku's dead, and he kind of feels a little guilty because he was weak, first of all, and he even told the dude to kill himself at one point in time. He didn't, even though in the beginning Deku still had a quirk, he still was like, shut up, you should just kill yourself. He still said that maliciousness, so that still got in there, right? Actually, I don't think this part's really going to be that long. Yeah, it's not going to be that long. Anywho, so they did the training, they did all that stuff, and we're going to pretty much go straight into the exams to where they get their provisional license or their actual license. I don't remember exactly. So what ended up happening is 99% of stuff goes in canon. The only difference is since Deku isn't there, everyone doesn't struggle, and I justify this by saying the fact is since he's dead, everyone is so motivated to go out there and get it and grind. So everyone still like makes it. The context on how they make it, I don't have any special details. It's just they made it, they passed on, they're good. And Bakugo, the person he goes up against, he doesn't even have nearly as much of trouble because all he does is like all for ones it, go gets behind him and just he doesn't do any extra. And then after he's knocked out, all those people that were trapped by that dude, him, hard guy, I don't know what his name is, and Denki, I think that's how you say his name, because it's basically like electricity. They all just pretty much beat up everyone else that was trapped by the dude that molds the flesh. So everyone's just like, they passed. Todoroki still does his own thing. He's a little more motivated, so he wipes the floor with all those people. Um, let's see, that. So we would get to the second part of this exam to where everyone's trying to do the rescue arc where they're like trying to save all the people in this exam. But the only difference is instead of Bakugo and Todoroki failing, it was only Todoroki that fell. The reason I say this is because Bakugo is a little more caring, so he's like, no, y'all are okay, y'all got this. He's still yelling a little bit. He's not like just 100% nice, but he's just not like overdoing it or over the top like he normally is, because it's like maybe if I was a little bit nicer, he wouldn't have died. Or he has a little guilt, so he plays it very cool and calm and collected. But the thing with the villain is this: the same villain, nothing changes there, and yeah, I mean that pretty much just happens, and then they pass. Everyone passes except Todoroki, so Todoroki's got to make it up, and it's a big body struggle. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this will also make it different because when they meet the big three, or whatever. Oh, by the way, if I did skip it, hold on, let me double check here. Oh, I mean, not really much to be said. The Bakugo versus Deku Part 2 fight doesn't obviously happen because you kind of got to be alive for that. But they meet the big three. Instead of Bakugo not being there, for whatever reason he wasn't there, he is there this time around. They all try to do it, but they all get big body folded. So the only two people that are left is Bakugo and Todoroki. They tried their best, but it doesn't work. And then everyone gets this cold, chill feeling, sinister feeling. And then a shadow comes in. Eraserhead's like, what took you so long? And then you see, sorry, took me a while to heal. Scar. But it's like it looks cool, but it's like a whole scar right there, a whole scar right here. No shirt, scars everywhere, just cut up, ripped though as hell, but cut up maliciously. Hey Kanchan, hey Todoroki, what y'all been up to? I don't know what the dude's name is. That's the All Might ripoff basically, but the dude that could phase through objects and stuff. But they basically talk like they're homies. So he's like, haven't seen you in a minute. Of course. Still lurking in the shadows, obviously. Of course. It's what I do. Now everyone's confused, like, wait, do y'all know each other? Yeah, I met him during my internship. Like, what? Todoroki, Ida, they're all confused, like, how did you meet him when he was with us? Oh, yeah, see, about that. There's a reason why I couldn't beat Stain. Like, I could have beat him, but my consciousness was kind of split. He shows them an example of him making clones of himself. I am still as strong, just not as strong Takes a lot of focus to use this move. I don't like using this move. But he's like, yeah, could have. I kept coming close to beating you. You want to go for round two? Of course. So they start duking it out or whatever, right? And this fight's a dummy good, right? Because he's phasing, coming in. Deku's just like, no. But he has all these like shadows and stuff just constantly hitting, kind of like propellers, just beep 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 beep. But it's hitting, so no matter whenever he stops phasing, he's gonna get hit. So he keeps phasing, he keeps trying to phase, but it's not working. And then eventually he gets hit with like a really strong like punch or like shadow gust. He gets back up, so they eventually just start going boom, hand to hand combat flow. Just doom, hands, clean hands. But then he goes in for the goes underground, comes back up. But when he comes back up, he comes up with an enormous amount of force. Deku barely blocks it, but he does. He takes a clean one to the chin, but he doesn't fully take most of the force because it's kind of like a block. Because he's like this, he takes a clean hit to the face, and like he's just, he's like, oh, is that all you got? By the time he said that, old boy was above him, coming down with the meanest hit to his dome piece. He's like, yep, and that's how you do. That makes more sense. As he's right behind him, as Deku's right behind him with a big body hammer, lightning, small traces of lightning exuding off of him. Purple, of course. He's going to get for the hammer. The dude phases just in the nick of time, turns around, hits Deku in the face. But right as he hits Deku in the face, he laughs. Like, what are you laughing? The hammer is one of him, and he gets hit in the dome piece. And so Deku and them, but right before he gets the dude that can phase, I'll call him All Might Junior, or just Junior for short, because I really don't remember what his name was. Tell me down in the comments. Junior, he gets hit in the dome piece, but right before he goes down, he hits Deku in the stomach. They both are just down. But since he can shadows, since those are clones of him or whatever, he uses the one least damage, puts a blade up to his neck and be like, I won. And now normally Deku, he can make himself transparent, but it takes a lot of energy and a lot of consumption. So it's not something he uses readily. Like, he doesn't just go around like making himself transparent all the time, just in case anybody's worrying about that inconsistency. But I mean, pretty much right there, I would say we're technically in, but the only difference would be is like maybe they could have to fight Bakugo now. And if they did fight, it would be similar to how it was in canon. They just wouldn't be punished per se. Because Izawa would understand, All Might would just come talk to them, and there would be no secrets because they both know. Because Deku explained to him. So even if they did fight, how that fight would play out though, is Deku would win obviously, but he would win obviously, but it'll be fairly decent. They would just go blow to blow. He would be trying to do all his new moves. Those explosive shadows do a lot of damage. It would get near him and then blow up because he's thinking that's his. But Bakugo's like, yes, I got him. Deku's like, all right, time to try. And he would just pretty much one-shot this dude. Like, it's not much of a fight here. It's just that. So that's kind of why I mainly skipped it. It wouldn't do nothing for the story. But that's the finale pretty much. So hope y'all enjoyed.